Together, let's embark on a scientific exploration of yoga, where you are the scientist, your heart is the laboratory, and you are the outcome. Welcome to Meditate with Daaji. Thoughts are always a problem with meditation. They disturb us and sometimes we get carried away. In this week's program, Daaji will tell us how to deal with thoughts during meditation. And after that, like always, we will meditate with Daaji.
Hello everyone, good to see you again today. The main problem with meditation, which we all face one time or the other, the biggest problem, people often complain about thoughts during meditation. Thoughts are always arising in the mind, and this becomes very noticeable during meditation. My guide used to say, just as eyes are to see, ears are to hear, nose is to smell, tongue is to taste, and so is mind to think. So when we try to suppress that very nature of mind, which is to think, we are going against nature. Then what is the solution? Solution is this. We need to regulate the mind. We need to train our mind in such a way so that it rests on those ideas, those thoughts, those subjectivity, so that we can dive deeper into those subjects only without being deviated into other. But in true meditation, we transcend beyond thoughts actually. When we realize this, how to transcend beyond thoughts, moving away from thinking apparatus and try to activate the heart and try to feel the very essence of that object of meditation, then that meditation is successful. In a rightful meditation, when it is so effective, one will be able to deduce from daily experiences that yes, even though the meditation may have been turbulent because of thoughts, yet a right meditation would result in shift in consciousness. See how your consciousness was before starting meditation. And after meditating for 20 minutes, 30 minutes with the help of this transmission, despite of turbulent meditation, you will often see that the result of this meditation was so refined. There is absolute refinement within, there is so much of settledness within. Often we are troubled by the thoughts from the past, out of guilt perhaps, some unresolved matters that they pop up in our minds. And often things that we have not completed, they haunt us during meditation. We see that during our daily activities, someone calls from home that please bring milk on your way from supermarket. And by the time we are going to bed at 10 p.m. or 10:30 p.m., suddenly you realize, I forgot the milk. Before going to sleep also, many things that we remember are related to unfinished tasks, something that we missed out on. So, when such thoughts do arise during meditation, should we get disturbed because it reminds us of our duty? No. Let it come, make a mental note of it, and revert back to this noble process of attending to presence of divine light in the heart. Let transmission do its job. When thoughts do arise, instead of fighting with them, instead of struggling, like, it would be nice if we gently remind ourselves that I am meditating on the divine light present in my heart. If you go on paying attention to thoughts like the way you would pay attention to a barking dog, it's not going to help us. We have to keep on moving gently and softly, remaining unmindful of things around us. Be compassionate towards yourself. Let them arise. They will drop off when you ignore them. But ignoring them in a very passive way. Try to ignore it. Oh, I will not think of this. I will not think of this. It's not going to happen. Often things we try to evade from comes back. I'd like to share with you a beautiful story I heard about a little boy who served his guru for years with the hope that one day his guru will teach him how to fly like a bird. Guru had tempted him to do so, that when you are 15, on the full moon night on your birthday, I will teach you how to meditate. Meditate in such a way that after meditation you will be able to fly like a bird. So that fine day came one day, and boy was very excited, goes to his guru and says, I am ready. Please teach me how to fly like a bird. So guru tells him, I will teach you a method of meditation. You go home, take a shower, wear clean clothes, and sit for meditation. But during meditation, don't think of monkeys. And there you go. On his way, he was very happy. I will not think of monkeys. How can I think of monkeys? I've never seen monkeys in my life. So there is no way I'm going to think of monkeys. So he goes home playing with this, how to ignore the thoughts of monkeys. And just when he's about to start at midnight, when the full moon is on over his head, and hope, with so much of hope, he tries to meditate. Suddenly he remembers Guruji said, please don't think of monkeys. And there it go. He's full of monkeys in his mind. The things we try to avoid generally pops up again and again. Best is not to pay attention. We have to understand why thoughts come during meditation, especially. You see, it's like it is not that we were not thinking other times or thoughts were not coming during other moments. They are always there. But during meditation, we become cognizant of it. Secondly, when the thoughts are there during other activities, they come, but we are busy doing so many other things. We are watching things and not paying attention to inner consciousness. So, thoughts, though they do arise, but they go unnoticed in our conscious mind. When we meditate, now you're face to face with your own consciousness. Your mirror, you're looking at yourself. And it's difficult to evade from this, especially during meditation. And all kinds of thoughts would come, especially negative thoughts, something that you did wrongly, or something that makes you feel ashamed, sometimes guilty. Very rarely, some noble thoughts may arise. But whatever be the thoughts, good or bad, any distraction, I think, disturbs our meditation. Let me read you a little passage. Something from my first guide, Ramchandra of Shahjahanpur. In the 1940s, in his book called Reality at Dawn, he expresses ideas and how to, wherein he deeply and very masterfully describes the reason behind these thoughts and how to tackle them during meditation. So I'm going to read out this particular passage from Reality at Dawn by Ramchandra. Generally, people complain of numerous ideas creeping into their mind at the time of meditation. They think that they have failed in their practice unless they bring their mind to a standstill. But it is not so. We are not practicing concentration, but only meditation. We must go on with meditation, unmindful of the foreign ideas that happen to come to our mind at the time. The flow of ideas is due to the activities of our conscious mind, which is never at rest. We are still busy in meditation with our subconscious mind, while our conscious mind is roaming about and forming numerous ideas. Thus, we are not the loser in any way. In due course, after sufficient practice, the conscious mind too gets molded and begins to act in harmony with the subconscious mind. The result thus achieved is deep rooted and lasting. And finally, calmness, the characteristic of the soul, becomes predominant.
Now, let's all meditate with Daaji.
You all know how to meditate, and perhaps some of you do not really know how to meditate in joining us for the first time. This is how we meditate. Artfulness way of meditation. It's very simple. Feel relaxed. Remove all the distractions if you might have. Something like phones. And focus on the presence of divine light in our heart. Think that this divine light is attracting your attention inward, and retain this thought as long as you can. If by chance you happen to move away from this noble idea, when you're overwhelmed by so many thoughts, just remind yourself that right now I am meditating on the presence of divine light. That's all. Please make a note of how you felt. Let's write our observations.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Meditate with Daaji. See you again next week.